Welcome back once again to our book review discussion. We're still discussing intersex persons and the law in Kenya. My name is Athena Morgan. I am a lawyer. I am still very passionate about children matters. And with me we have Senior Counsel John Chigiti, the one and only. Welcome back, Counsel.
Thank you.
I think today we're just going to proceed straight to it. And I can say that in your book, there is an interesting topic on parental dilemma, which I had even alluded to in our previous discussion, and that's in chapter 4. And I asked, what would you do if you gave birth to an intersex child? And I'd want to make this a bit more personal. Senior Counsel, what would you do if one of your children was born intersex? What's the dilemma exactly, and why should it be a dilemma?
Interesting question. Coincidentally, chapter 4 of my book, I never realized, I've just noticed now, corresponds to the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. And again, interestingly, Section 4 of the Children Act talks about the best interest of the child. And interestingly, I have 4 children. I find that interesting. So, as a parent, the joy is when you get a child and you know the child is a boy or the child is a girl. For a parent who gets an intersex child, the conversation is quite difficult. What do I do with this child? Many mothers are victimized, blamed for the intersex child. Many of our communities have practices, customs, which classify these children, like we saw in the cluster of taboo babies, bad omen. And the first order of business in most of those customary platforms is let us kill it. And like we saw when we went into the 47 counties when we were doing the task force data collection, every other corner has its own way of doing it. But you'll appreciate ultimately it is murder being committed, infanticide, which is prohibited by our penal code. So that then you ask yourself, dear mother, dear father, what am I going to do with this child? It's a conflicted space. Some mothers will say, I'll run away. Like you will see in our book, some of these parents choose to subject these children to surgery, corrective surgeries. These surgeries are expensive. 2, we have no regulations, no bylaws, no law per se, which addresses the issue of the corrective surgery. So when the parent goes to see this doctor, they're in a panic mode. The doctor does not know exactly what to do. And what happens, the dilemma is a decision has to be made. Subject the child to the surgery. Question, who consents to the surgery? And when we did baby A's case for Justice Lenaola, we were trying to find harmony. On one side, the best interest of the child principle, the consent of the child, the bodily autonomy and privacy of the child, the integrity of that person. On this other side, parental power. Who makes the decision? The child is too young to decide. A decision has to be made, either surgery or wait. Who is going to make that decision? It's not new. In America, we have a case going on where the child has sued the father, the mother, the doctor, the parents, and what are they saying? Give it back to me. And the parents are saying, we were doing it for your good. And the judges are saying, hey, what do we do here? And that's just surgeries. How will you dress this child? What name will you give this child? Will you dress the child in earrings? How will you make the child's hair? Tough questions.
So what would you do?
In my situation, it's a difficult situation. I would choose to love the child and make the child walk like a child, be like a child, and then follow its bodily dictates. I cannot control the chromosomal patterns of the Almighty.
Very true. But I still want to put you on the spot. The bodily autonomy and the manifestations of the gender is not clear when a child is 2 or 3 years old. So will you put him or her in a dress or in a trouser?
I would let the child be. Normally, luckily, when they're that age, they can dress anyhow. So I'll just dress the child, make sure the child is alive, eating healthy, give the child a name, prepare for school. I don't know where I'll get a birth certificate because the births, deaths, registration registrar doesn't tell us where to register these children. I'll still move on.
No, but you cannot move on because, as you've mentioned, the birth certificate has to either be male or female. But this is an intersex child. And now I see where the dilemma comes in. Because you have a child, neither male nor female, but you have to get a birth certificate. What would you do?
I would live a lie, which is what we're trying to tell the legislator. Please cure this lacuna, cure this gap. Malta has done it. Germany is ahead of us. We are not very far away, Mr. Legislator. You can do it for this intersex child. Why did you allow the child to be counted?